Hi, welcome back to Survive or Thrive Challenge. My name's Daniel.
And my name's Evan.
And we have started, this must be week 5, is that right?
Yes.
So this is
start of week 5.
The start of week 5. So we're going to report on week 4. So we're going to start with, what did you cook? We've had to get a little bit creative with cooking because we can only eat what we grow or hunt on the farm. And each week we also get a small budget to buy something at the supermarket. So did you cook something interesting this week?
I did. So I have been making my version of eggnog, but it doesn't last very long. So I've got some rolled oats or oatmeal, and I've thought maybe I can bulk it out and make a baked custard. So I found a recipe that used some oatmeal or rolled oats, and I made a baked custard. So it had eggs, water, rolled oats, dates, and I put a few sultanas on top as well.
All right.
And it came out pretty good.
So did you eat it hot or cold or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So the interesting thing that I cooked this week, I wanted to make some jerky. So I had shot a deer it's probably 3 weeks ago now, hanging it in the cool room. And I went round to a mate's place who's made a bit of jerky in his day, and I said, oh, can I borrow your dehydrator? And as he was showing me how the dehydrator works, he said, if you're doing venison, which is deer, try and get the freshest deer possible. And as he's saying that, I'm thinking, hang on, I was about to go home and cut up a deer that's like 2 weeks old. So anyway, change of plan. That night I went out with expected faith. That's what my wife said, go out with expected faith, because we can only hunt on the farm. And I'm like, I just want a young deer. I don't want some big stag that sort of might look good on the wall, but quite chewy. And I managed to get lucky and shoot a young deer and put it in the cool room that night. So I think I closed the cool room door after putting it in at about 1 AM, and then the next morning I cut up the back strap nice finely. So I followed my mate's instructions, cut up the back strap and tenderloins really finely, and just put it in a seasoning. We bought some, if you saw last week, we bought some fish sauce because everyone said fish sauce, all the forums like fish sauce, what makes jerky. This guy, he's like a bit of a barbecue champion. He knows what he's doing, and he said, nah, just use some seasoning. And he gave me a little packet of seasoning, and he said, you don't have to wet it, just rub the seasoning over the jerky sort of dry and just mix it in a bowl, which I've done, and then just spread it out on the rack. So make sure there's a gap in between it. Don't put the jerky right up against each other, because he said you want airflow. So I just followed all of his instructions, and then later that day I was eating jerky which was like 15 hours old. So it might have been 18 hours old or something. So I shot it, and then the next morning put in the dehydrator, and then that following evening. So it was less than 24 hours old. So that was an amazing sort of feeling with the whole challenge of like actually eating what you hunt. So that was my sort of the fun thing I cooked, and it was amazing. And I had to sort of like stop myself from just eating it all. I had the dehydrator here in the office, and I'd walk past and grab a piece, and then like 5 minutes later grab another piece. I'm like, oh gee, I'm gonna run out soon. So the next day I did another batch. So well, I did the jerky. Yeah, the jerky was really good, and that's, I guess, one thing we have been lacking is sort of snack foods. Like, there's only so many boiled eggs and things you can eat as a snack, but a bit of jerky was really good. And Dan gave me a little bag, but it didn't last very long either. Yeah, I sort of would have felt guilty if I didn't give Evan some, but what happened, because I was snacking on it, I'm like, I have to put a bag aside, otherwise Evan will be like, oh, how's the jerky? And I'll be like opening up, I'm like, well, surely there's another tray with some jerky in it. But yes, I've done another batch, and I'll probably do another lot today or tomorrow. So we've got a little bit of a stash of some snacks. So did jerky. Next item, I want to give you a bit of an update. So last week we did a bit of a planning. It was a longer video last week, and a few things that we've taken action on that we said we'd do. So firstly, we said we've got some strawberries, we want to plant them out in some wicking beds. watch to the end of the video and you'll see us planting out the strawberries in the wicking beds. We wanted to put an incubator on with like 120 eggs. I just didn't have 120 eggs, so I put about 45 in there, and I plan to do another lot this week. So I'll try and do a batch, another lot, so that way when the chickens hatch, they might be a week apart, but they're pretty close too. So we'll get the incubator on. With the rabbits, we've got 4 females, 1 male. So I've joined 2 of the females, so 2 should be pregnant. I did one yesterday, 1 the day before, do another one today. They're hot days, I don't want to wear out the male, give them a day in between. So that means 28 days from now we should start having some baby bunnies born and coming through. So that's more of a follow-up from last week. Cool. Next item, we've been shopping. So each week we get a budget. Because it's week 5, we have $16 this week, is that right? Well, that's what I went in with the budget.
I think so. I pro-rated mine because I'm away day this week. So
okay.
I think I worked out at about $14.
Yeah, okay. So week 1 we had $20, week 2 $19, $18, $17, and now I've got $16 to spend on food at the supermarket. Let's have a look at your items.
Okay, I only got 3 items. A big bag of 3 kilos of oranges. So that's my fruit. Then I got a kilo of sultanas because I'm enjoying just having a few sultanas to either throw in a little bit of cooking, as in the baked custard, or just to snack on a little bit here and there. And some rolled oats, 1.8 kilos, or oatmeal, depending on where you live.
Cool. All right. I've also been to the supermarket and I had a $16 budget, and what's interesting, I'll show you what I got. So I got 2 kilos of apples because I like having a bit of fruit, and I like the apples because they're nice and juicy. I've got, if you've been watching the others, like you have seen this before, 2 kilos of flour. I've been making pancakes, and the other thing I've been making that's cool, I've been making a bit of a batter with like egg, water and flour, and then like cooking some of the venison in that, and sometimes it comes out absolutely amazing, and then other times I try to replicate it and it's not the same. But maybe I'm just craving a bit of carbohydrate or something. But I also do like pancakes because it's just a quick snack I can cook quickly. I got not 1 but 2 bags of dates. Evan got me onto his eggnog. So sometimes I make the dates into eggnog, sometimes I just snack on them. And then with the money left over, I got 60 cents of dried mango. But, so that $16 was my budget. I go to the checkout and I did something wrong because it came to $12.30. And I'm like, what? I've bought like 5 items. I don't know how me and my calculator in a supermarket got where I thought it all added up to $16. I looked in my bag of like, did I miss something? But I didn't go back in. So I've still got a little bit of budget I might spend tomorrow on something else. I was just like a deer in the headlights at the checkouts going $12.30, and like I'd added it all up my phone going, I've missed something. I've added something. I don't know what happened, but cha-ching for the win. I've still got some more budget to spend. Okay, we are going to do our random item now. I'm just going to let Dan pick straight out of the bag. Shake. Do I, the first thing I touch, or can I sort of like...
The first thing you touch, look at that.
Oh, okay.
I reckon I've probably got a box of string. Let's see.
You've been getting things that aren't food. They're meant to be food, but it's meant to be funny as well. So you can reveal what your box is.
Or is it tea? Tea! Green tea.
Green tea. It's not going to fill you up much.
Not a box of string.
What have I... Oh man. I've got lighters.
You can light a fire.
Ease reach.
They look pretty good actually.
It's like a cigarette lighter with like a little chimney on top. I have no idea what that is in case your arms aren't long enough to reach your mouth or something. And at the moment, I think there's like a total fire ban in our state, so I couldn't think of a gift more unusable at this time. But thank you to the people behind the scenes that buy random items for us and put them in brown paper bags. I am grateful for this. This is the first time I've got something that's not food. You've got like gaffer tape, a toothbrush. So they truly are some random items.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to plant some strawberries.
Yes, plant some strawberries.
So, and make it into a bit of a challenge. 15 minutes. See if we can plant strawberries in 3 of the wicking bed tubs.
Yes. Check that out now. Okay, here we are. We've got to plant some strawberries. I've got to be at a meeting in 15 minutes, so we're going to plant out these 3 wicking beds with strawberries. Evan's here to help me. Let's go.
Do it.
Weed these. We've got a few weeds in them. We haven't used these for a while, so just pull those weeds out.
I think these are just about watered in, and we can fill up the tank. So this is the water tank here, so we dump water in there. That's connected to this pipe down here, which goes into the base of these blue drums. But in the base there's actually some 100mm pipe, which is irrigation pipe. So that pipe goes directly inside that 100mm pipe. There's actually a hole drilled inside it. And it comes, and that's basically a ring that sits down the bottom of these drums. And there's a pipe that goes out the other side as well with a hole drilled in it. And we've put basically a membrane to stop the soil and everything getting into that pipe and clogging it up. But that pipe, these just are linked together by those pipes. There's one on each. And when we get to the very end one, we've got a pipe down here. When that water starts coming out there, we know we've got enough water in these drums. So that sets the height for the wicking beds for the water.
So there you have it. We've planted out 3 wicking beds with the strawberries. Some of the strawberries didn't look like they were in too good a condition, but we're like, we've got nothing to lose. Let's put them in. We've mulched them, so that should help reduce the amount of water that's going to evaporate off the top and just protect them a little bit. We watered the tops in well. We're filling up the tank, and that way, if all goes to plan, we should be eating strawberries in a couple of months.